folks, and thank you for your company this Monday morning. Well, as MPs descend on Canberra for the start of the new parliamentary year, the coalition has been dealt another blow before things even kick off, with the first published opinion poll since the election showing the Libs and Nats are now at 40-year lows. Joining us live from Canberra, the Assistant Foreign Minister Matt Thistlethwaite, the Liberal Senator Maria Kovacic. Good morning to you both. Maria, I'll start with you today. This polling, does this show this term more than ever now that your party will not just be fighting for relevance but survival?
Good morning, Peter. I think what's really important for us to take note of here is that we're some 10 weeks after the federal election, and the result that we were delivered was a tough one. We were smashed, let's be frank about that. And from the outset, our leader Susan Lee has said we're going to take the time to listen and to properly construct our new policy platforms. And that's what we're doing. And this is no surprise for us, given that result. It's important for us to take the time to reconnect with Australians and to rebuild that trust and to have them be able to look to us as a credible alternative to this government. One of the things that Susan has spoken about regularly is the importance of rebuilding that trust, and that's what we will do.
I think that's fair. Look, this is only the first poll, and it's the longest now possible time until the next election. Now, when you talk about constructing your policy platform, the Prime Minister has sounded a warning not to obstruct Labor in the Senate. That's his message to you. Are you planning on doing any of that at all while you're constructing your platform?
Again, we've been very clear on that, and our message on that is that we will be constructive where we can and critical where we must. So what does that mean? That means in matters that are really important, we will work with the government to ensure that we can get consensus on those things. But that doesn't mean that this government will get a blank cheque to do whatever it is that they want to do. What it means is that if we see that there are deficiencies or that there isn't properly constructed legislation, we are going to point that out, and we're going to fight for Australians to ensure that this government can deliver what they need. OK, so just one more point on this before I go to you, Matt. The three items that we see as the PM's priority, I think he set that out, and I'll get Matt's reaction to this shortly. Student funding cuts of 20%, penalty rates coming into law, childcare safety laws. Are there any deficiencies that you can see with any of those, Maria? We haven't seen the legislation on those items. We have our party room today, so we will discuss those matters in the appropriate and the usual way there. All right, Matt, the Prime Minister, he's got a major mandate now. He's 100 not out, if you like. But now you've got some unions pushing for shorter working weeks. Is that an example of a trap that you could fall into?
G'day, Pete. Well, we've got a clear agenda that we took to the last election, and the focus really is on cost of living support for Australians. So on the 1st of July, a number of those measures began, like the energy rebates, prac payments. As you mentioned, our first pieces of legislation will be reducing student debts and ensuring that we're protecting penalty rates. So we're going to get on with delivering the mandate that we sought and had approved from the Australian people, and that'll be our focus. Obviously, with the productivity roundtable coming up, business and unions are going to have their ideas, and we welcome people putting their ideas. But we want to try and bring everyone together on a consensus basis to ensure that we're putting in place policies for the future, that we can grow our economy and improve living standards.
Yeah. So Jane Hume was on the program, Maria, already today about that summit that's coming up. Her fear is that this will just be a talk fest that doesn't really achieve anything like, similar summits in the past. Do you share her view? There are absolutely concerns in relation to that. And while it's important to hear all views, as Matt has pointed out, what I'm concerned about is that unions may be setting the agenda in relation to this. Businesses need an absolutely clear and strong voice at the table, not a ticker box approach where they are there, but what they have to say isn't being taken into account. Australian small businesses have been crushed under this government. There is no doubt about that. They are closing their doors at record rates. So it's fine to have your roundtable, it's fine to have your chat, but it's absolutely imperative that we act to protect Australian businesses. Is there a danger, Matt, that the unions get a bit too cocky?
No, we're inviting organisations on the basis of their contribution to the Australian economy, and unions play an important role in representing workers, but equally do businesses, particularly small businesses. So those small businesses will be represented at the round table, and we're hoping to bring people together on a consensus basis in that Hawke-Keating model to try and move the economy forward and plan for the future.
All right, so in your role in shadow foreign at the moment, how's the PM getting on with that meeting with Trump, Matt?
Well, we're certainly looking forward to the Prime Minister meeting with the President. We've requested a meeting. Obviously, there was one lined up at the G7 that couldn't go ahead. But there's continuous engagement between the Australian government and the United States at a ministerial level, at an official level. And as I've pointed out, Pete, at the moment you've got the largest rotation of US Marines in Australia, working in the north of Australia as part of Talisman Sabre, a largest number of allied nations. So in terms of defence, the relationship between the Australian Defence Force and the US military has never been stronger.
All right, Maria, Matt, excuse me, good to talk to you on this Monday